Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, episode 8. I'm finding myself at a point now where I'm really starting to think about the show in my own time, about what's going on and what's going to happen next, which I haven't really done outside of Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer, so I'm really feeling like I want to just binge this show now. It's the way the pacing is with the storyline, like there's so much mystery, and I love when there are questions that linger for so long. Big character build-ups like with lust and gluttony and envy. So I'm really excited to see how the rest of this story unfolds. So we left off with Ed and Al going against Colonel Mustang's orders, infiltrating the 5th laboratory by themselves, looking for more information on the Philosopher's Stone. They just found out that the main ingredient for Philosopher's Stones is multiple human sacrifices, which has left them feeling pretty awful, because that's not something they're about to do to create a Philosopher's Stone. But looking for the truth within the truth, they figured out that perhaps this 5th laboratory, which is next door to a prison, and the implication is that prisoners were used as human sacrifices, that this laboratory is going to hold some answers as to what's going on. So Ed and Al have infiltrated. Ed is inside, and we left off with the cliffhanger of Al getting dropped on by one of the crazy looking people that were hanging around the area, or were inside even. So I'm going to get straight into this. Really excited. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, episode 8.
The first branch of the National Central Library, where Marco had hidden his notes regarding the Philosopher's Stone, was lost to fire.
Still really enjoyed these recaps. Oh, Sheska was cool as well. Here we go, the 5th laboratory. Let's get it. Straight into it. 66.
Who are you?
I'm number 66. Well, that's the name they gave me when I came to work here anyway.
Interesting.
I'm going to cut you
So he's also got armor on. He looks like a person behind the mask, though. We'll see. Okay, what's going on here? We inside? Oh my gosh, it's a big room.
I bet this is what they use to transmute a philosopher.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, that's right.
48. So this is the other guy.
For the moment, let's just say my
Interesting.
name is number 48.
More armor.
Believe me, I'm not your pal. Try not to take it.
So clearly they're doing some business in here then.
I won't.
Obviously. Here we go. We're getting some fights straight away.
When this boy kicks your ass.
Talk it.
Alchemist, are you? All right then, let's see what you got.
He's quick.
My sword can pierce steel as well as flesh.
Uh-oh. Come on, Ed. What do we got? Hollow clang. Interesting.
My, what's this? I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say you're hollow inside.
Is it just like Al?
I could tell.
Was I right?
I spar against someone like you all the time.
Yeah, his brother.
There are people like me on the outside too.
On the outside, so then...
I think there's more than one idiot in the world who came up with the brilliant idea of bonding a disembodied soul to a suit of armor.
Perhaps I should introduce myself again.
Please, enlighten me.
The number I was assigned when I was on death row.
Okay.
Back when I
Oh,
was
of course, the
still a
prisoners.
nobody, I was a mass murderer, you see.
Yeah, it was locked up.
Slated for execution. Tell me
And it said they
something.
used him.
This laboratory.
Here.
Are they interesting? I'm sure they gave you a seal too.
Yes, I have a blood.
Why would you say yes?
This is it right here.
Why would you show him?
Destroy this. The fight's yours.
He just tells him? Okay.
Awfully considerate of you to show me your weak spot.
That's what I'm saying.
I like to give myself a little extra challenge. during
Okay,
the
well, I
fight.
mean, he is a mass murderer, so he's
As
not
long as
exactly
you're
all there
such
in
a
the
good
head.
mood, then how about this? Just let me go.
Now he wants to
Nice
fight.
try, kid. But what kind of mass murderer
Yeah, here we
lets
go.
his prey get away so easily? Now, let's fight.
Yeah, let's get it.
Did you
Cut
hear
back.
what I said?
Yep. Oh,
My dear little Alicia's about to turn 3.
hello.
She's the cutest little thing.
Oh, God.
Stop calling me to go show me your daughter.
Oh, we did see his family early on, didn't we?
Not just my daughter, Colonel. I'll go show for my wife too.
It's a bit much, mate.
Go ahead, Colonel. I know you're dying to gush over your very own scar-faced Ishvalan.
We found many bodies on the
Sus.
site where he vanished.
There's lots of collateral
He hasn't been
damage.
sighted anywhere in the east.
I have an interesting theory about that I'll try to remember to talk about.
Armstrong still in charge of the boys' protective detail?
He was, but a couple of his men have taken over now.
Thought it was
Oh.
suspicious that I'm
Oh, dear.
Take his shirt off again and yell at us some more.
He's gonna take his shirt off.
to pay to the 5th laboratory.
Surely you get Armstrong involved as well. Okay, here we go. Let's buy it.
What happened? My shoulder doesn't feel right.
Oh, right. Oh, because the screw's missing?
I increased the percentage of chrome, so it's less prone to rusting, but it's not as strong.
And she did say this as well. Ooh, you got him. He's on the back foot.
What a cute little monkey.
Who you calling little?
He said the tree said the trigger word.
This video won't last much longer.
Does he need help?
Right about now, my companion should be finishing off the partner you left outside.
Is this companion of yours strong?
Yes, he is. He isn't as strong as I am, though.
That's probably all he needed to know. Al's gonna be fine.
In that case, I don't need to
Yes,
worry.
sir.
You see, we've been sparring partners a long time, and I've still never beaten him.
Oh, really? Wait, Al's a bit of a freak with it? Okay.
Why can't you sit still for a second?
Okay. Wait, was that his head? So he's the same deal. Yeah. Bonded to a suit of armor. He's just like you, Al.
Story behind that. It all starts with a man by the name of
He's like, here's my backstory.
One day, Barry found that cutting up beef and pork wasn't enough anymore.
And he went for
So
people.
he took to the streets and began cutting up people instead.
These people are
Night
freaks.
after night. He's standing in front of your very eyes. I am the infamous serial killer, Barry the Chopper. Ah!
Barry the Chopper and the other guy, they called him Slicer or
I've
something.
never heard of you. I'm from a little town in the east, so
Fine.
You
But
tell him,
if
Al.
You don't know who I am. Shouldn't you be going, ah? Or what happened to your body? Or something? Ah! What happened to your body, freak?
hey, now that's impolite.
Oh, I love how they mix in the
You were
humor.
on your brother? Of course, your brother.
What does he mean, of
Are
course?
you sure you and your brother are really related?
Well, I guess we don't look that much alike anymore.
No. That's
Why would he
not
say
what I
that?
mean. Are you sure that you're not a puppet created and controlled by your so-called brother? Were you ever even a real person to begin with?
Okay, he's just trying to mess with him. Yeah.
I was a real boy, and my name was Alphonse
Pinocchio.
Elric.
Yeah, there you go.
Be so sure of that.
Now he's just messing with you.
They know me.
Now don't let him get to you, Al. Oh, this is not good.
You were never alive to begin with. It's as simple as that.
He knows he knows he can't win physically, so he's playing the mental game.
area's off limits. Don't move.
There. Did you see that?
Oh man. Okay, what are we doing?
Go out. Do it now.
What?
Distraction?
That was dirty!
There's no such thing as dirty in a fight.
True. I thought Al was actually there, but there was no way. As if that worked.
I'm not beaten yet.
Uh-oh. I mean, I kind of figured it might be okay.
I forgot to mention something about this mass murderer Slicer.
His crimes were really done by a pair of brothers.
An independent head and body.
Now,
Are they brothers?
you the one
Well,
who
this is an
said
interesting
nothing
parallel.
was dirty in a fight?
Don't call
Wait.
me short.
I don't think
He sounded different there. Younger, yeah. Is it two souls, perhaps?
Here he comes. I'm going to die.
No. He do what Scar does. That's dope.
You reminded me of someone I don't like. And now I've done exactly what he did.
Yep. Destruction.
He's wriggling. That's freaky.
brother.
Yeah, like the head is an older brother,
Tell
and
me
the
you're
body's
one
like a
of
younger
your brothers,
brother.
are you? No, I'm not a murderer.
Yeah, he's not that guy.
Bodies like these, are we really even people?
Don't play that game.
People, whether you have physical bodies or not. If I didn't, that would mean I didn't believe my own brother as a person either.
Good man.
But how can you know for sure? How can
I
you be certain
don't-
you were really alive? If you die, you were a real boy all along, just like you want to believe.
What a crazy gamble.
No, there's no way I could ever do that.
Just get rid of him, Al.
Then I guess I'll have to do it for you, won't I?
I know that my brother is a human being. That means you guys are human too. I will not take the life of another person.
Huh. And now that we're in these pseudo bodies, we're being treated like humans for the first time. Don't you see the irony?
The
For that boy,
irony.
I'll give you a parting gift. I'll tell you who made the Philosopher's Stone.
Okay.
And ordered us to
He
go.
humanized them. Who is this? Is that Lust? Yep. Okay.
Number 48, you should know better than to talk about things that don't...
Is Lust the one running this place?
Well, would you look at
There's
that?
envy.
What's the Fullmetal Pipsqueak doing here?
I wasn't expecting this confrontation.
How did you...
Brother! Brother! Brother!
I'm so intrigued right now.
You were trying to kill one of our most important sacrifices. Do you understand me?
Dude, that's enough.
Messed up the entire plan. What would we have done then?
Oh, sacrifices. They want to use Ed? They mentioned that in the previous episode.
Tell me who you people are.
Yeah, please.
What plan are you talking about?
Yeah, tell me
What
everything.
do you mean when you say important sacrifice?
Oh my, the Pipsqueak's raring to go. I think I made it angry.
Don't call me Pipsqueak again.
Don't call him little. Okay.
Whoa now.
This is a fight that you started, so come on!
Uh-oh. His arm's not working.
Lucky me!
Hmm.
Well, boy, don't ever forget this. Always remember we allowed you to live.
You know, they clearly need him for something.
Poking around this place
Okay, this
again,
diagram is going to be important.
blow it up.
I'm going to have to go back and look at that.
You know what?
I wasn't listening to what they said.
Something I've been wanting to tell you for a while.
Yeah, oh, we'll go back to this as well.
What was Ed about to tell me?
Yeah.
He
I
said
never
he
talked
was
about this, but this
afraid
was
to
really
say it
interesting.
before. What could have frightened him that much?
Are you sure you're not a puppet created by your so-called brother?
Shut up! You're wrong!
Just accept it. You'll feel better. You're mine.
Come
now,
on.
little puppet.
Come on.
What?
Stay right there.
Here we go.
Or the next
Squat up.
in your head.
You tell him.
This isn't going quite as I planned.
Wait, is that what Lust said? Blow it up? Or something?
Now,
What's going on? The whole building.
what are you doing?
Get out of the way, man!
I know what this means. Time to get out of here.
That's what I'm saying. And there they are.
There you are. I brought a little present for you.
Brother!
Wait, she...
His life's not in danger, but he has lost a lot of blood, so you might want to get him to a hospital as soon as you can.
They must have some crazy agenda. They're just giving him back. I thought they were gonna take him.
Who are you?
And there goes the whole building. My mind is racing right now. And this is the prison next door.
Calm down now. What a lovely sound.
Kimberly.
I know it well.
So was this the Crimson Alchemist, maybe? From episode 1?
The fifth laboratory. The way it reverberates through your entire
This guy's a
body.
freak.
I was just recalling the Ashvalan War of Extermination, and it put me in such a good mood.
Transmutation circles? Look at this guy.
Are you sure you're not a puppet?
Oh.
created by your so-called brother?
I hope this really doesn't get to him. Another brilliant episode. This show is so good. So I think the first takeaway from this episode is 66 obviously getting into Al's head about, you know, are you really a person? Were you ever a person? Or are you just created and being used by Ed? Purely just a mental game. They put some emphasis on the fact that it has stuck with Al a bit, which is really unfortunate. So we'll find out in the coming episodes, I assume, how he gets over that if he talks to Ed about it. But I think it's quite a shame to think that Al could be questioning his existence this way. And the biggest takeaway from this episode is Lust and Envy popping up. I don't know why. I didn't expect them to be here. You know, they were in the fifth laboratory. Perhaps they were the ones running it. And they talked about several episodes ago, Ed, the Fullmetal boy, as they call him, being an important sacrifice. And now we have all this revelation about human sacrifices being part of creating Philosopher's Stones. So they've clearly been in here trying to create Philosopher's Stones. You know, they transmuted 66 and 48, 48 being two brothers, into the suits of armor, exactly like Al. And I believe I said something last discussion about them possibly being something like this, so I'm glad I got something right. So Ed found that big transmutation circle and there was blood on the floor, so clearly they've been doing stuff. But like the agenda, what is the agenda with lust and envy? Like, what are they doing? Also, something I've never talked about that's really interesting is like lust, gluttony, and envy. Their names are all like things, right? Like they're not, are they emotions? I don't know if you call them specifically emotions or like feelings or something, but you know, lust, gluttony, and envy, they're all things that you'd use to describe how someone's feeling, you know what I'm saying? So, which in itself is really interesting, but I didn't expect them to pop up here. So Ed's arm failed. Perhaps a combination of it being slightly different than the one he's used to. Plus, we saw the screw missing that Winry found at the end of episode 6. Then envy overpowered him. It was easy. He was worn down from his fight from 48. And I thought they were going to take him. Because they're talking about he needs to be a sacrifice. Like, oh, we let you live. And I'm like, okay, you need to take him to use as a sacrifice. No, they just give him back. So they have something going on. They clearly believe that they can just grab him whenever they want, like when they need him. So it's very, very interesting. Again, it's just asking more questions. You know, some things get answered. You know, we find out what's going on at this laboratory. It was lust and envy, and they've transmuted these souls, these prisoners, into these suits of armor. And then we get hit with more questions. I love it. And it just makes me want to keep watching. Like, I love that. I'm so glad I started this show. I'm really enjoying it. And I'm going to continue my Colonel Hughes situation. Very interesting scene with him. I completely forgotten that we got introduced to his family early on. Little callback to them here. He was having a weird moment with Roy on the phone. He's talking about how his daughter's about to be 3, and he's talking about his wife. And then while he's gushing over his family, he said, oh, you must be gushing over talking to Roy. You must be gushing over, you know, Scar, about this whole situation. So interesting conversation. They threw that in there. Also, I loved how when Ed was about to die, like he had, you know, the light flashing before your eyes moment. He saw Scar. And he said 48 in that moment remind him of Scar that he hates. And he did exactly what Scar does. He used the destruction part of alchemy. And it was almost the exact same move that like it looked like he used against Al. It was really cool that in that moment, like he was like, he pulled something out. He's like, damn, I could do this. So I really enjoyed that. I hope we see more things like that. And I love that, I don't know if it had been alluded to that Al was stronger physically than Ed. Obviously he's in a suit of armor, but from a sparring perspective, Ed has never beaten Al. Like that was a really cool detail they added in there as well. So whilst Al can't use alchemy the same way Ed does, like Al needs to draw a transmutation circle. Physically, he has the edge over Ed, so that's really cool. I'm going to keep that in mind going forward. I've totally just remembered that there is a post-credit scene for this episode. I've just finished my discussion when I remembered. I was about to start the next episode, so I'm going to watch that now.
So things here at Central are pretty hectic. The senior staff in charge of state
More
Alchemist is
Hughes.
short-handed, thanks to Scar's killing spree. Oh.
And Roy.
Rumor has it a promotion to Central for one Colonel Mustang isn't far off.
Ooh.
Central, huh? Watch yourself, though. You can't move up the ladder as young as you are without making enemies.
I've been prepared for that from
Interesting.
Just a word of warning from someone who knows the game. You need as many people on your side as you can get your hands on now, Colonel. Which means... get yourself a wife. I don't get it. He hung up on me just like that.
So just some dialogue between Hughes and Roy. And that Roy's about to get promoted. I think I called Armstrong Mustang in my intro. So apologies if that's what happened. I'll do some sort of edit in the intro about that. But yeah, interesting. So it looks like Roy, there's a possibility of Roy becoming promoted, which he was talking about last episode. I'm really curious I'm looking at Hughes a certain way because of just the way I'm feeling. But you know, there seemed to be some like undertone like about enemies, and then they show a shot of Hughes, and then he's talking about, okay, you need as many people on your side as you do. Speaking of someone who knows the games, which is very interesting development for me. And then he says, get yourself a wife. So they're really throwing in the humor elements with Hughes as well. You know, so like, I know I said I wasn't going to get attached to my suspicions of Hughes, but it's hard for me to get away from it. I'm just looking at things in such a specific way. But for what it's worth, I enjoy the dynamic that Hughes is bringing to these interactions with these characters such as Hughes and Ed and Al. That's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Again, please leave some feedback. I always appreciate it. We'll see you in the next episode, episode 9 of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.